This video is sponsored by TokyoTreat and Sakuraco. What's up everyone, Jun with the Sushi Man, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to host a Temakizushi party or hand roll sushi party. This is really common in Japan and it's the perfect way to eat sushi at home. You prepare all the ingredients and lay it out so that each guest can make their own hand roll using whatever fillings they want, which makes it 10 times easier for the person preparing it. Plus you could get really creative with the ingredients so the possibilities are endless. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right in. Now, these are pretty typical ingredients and what we like to use for our temaki parties, but there's really no right or wrong. But that said, there is one item on here that is an obvious must, which is the sushi rice. Because remember, it's not sushi unless the vinegar sushi rice is used. And the amount of course will depend on how many people you're feeding, but usually about 1 cup per person is good. Though I always like to make more because my family and friends can chow down on some sushi. You can watch my sushi rice video to learn how to make this properly. Okay, next we have some nori, which is dried seaweed. And these are half sheets, which you can use as is or cut it in half to make smaller rolls. I'll show you how later in this video. And then we have a few different vegetables: cucumber, avocado, green onion, and takuan, which is pickled daikon radish. I also have some regular daikon radish that we'll make into tsuma, which is when we cut it into really thin strands. It's more so for garnish, but it's good to eat as well. For our proteins, we're going to use some maguro, sake, hamachi, unagi, ebi, kanikama, ikura, and masago. And then just some toppings like spicy mayo, unagi sauce, toasted sesame seeds, and regular Japanese mayo, which I'll show you what I'm going to use this for later. And of course some wasabi, ginger, and soy sauce on the side. Alright, now let's move on to preparation. So basically, all we're going to do is cut everything into smaller pieces so that it fits nicely into our hand roll. Okay, let's start off with our veggies. So first, the cucumber. I personally like to cut this into thin strands by using a technique called katsuramuki, which is when you peel it into a very thin sheet and then cut it down into thin strands. And I use the same technique for the daikon to make tsuma. If you want a detailed tutorial on this, you can check out my how to cut cucumber video with the link over here. Okay, now on to our daikon. Now we're just going to set this in some cold water. Alright, now let's cut our takuan. And we're just going to cut this into sticks that are about 1/4 inch thick. Now let's cut some green onions. And basically we just want to shred this into thin strands. So first, I cut about 3-inch increments from the white end till about halfway, like this. Now I take this and slice it the long way, really thin. And now for the green part, I angle my knife at a diagonal like this and then slice it very thin again. Okay, now for our avocado. And if you follow my channel, you've seen me do this countless times and you're probably already a pro at this by now. But basically we're going to cut this into about 1/4 inch thick slices. Watch. Alright, that's it for the veggies. Now let's move on to our proteins. But first, check out these awesome boxes that I have. TokyoTreat and Sakuraco, which happens to be the sponsor of this video. TokyoTreat is a monthly subscription box that's packed with the latest limited edition seasonal snacks straight from Japan. That means you can't find these here in the States, or anywhere else besides Japan. It also comes with instant ramen and drinks. Sakuraco is also a monthly subscription box that features traditional Japanese snacks that are made from local artisans. So obviously you can't get this stuff anywhere besides Japan either. Each box comes with 20 authentic artisan snacks, including Japanese teas and special Japanese tableware. Now that's really cool. Both are delivered straight to your door and have a different theme every month. These are July's boxes, and I'm super excited to open these up with you guys today. Now let's see what's inside. Starting off with TokyoTreat. This month, the theme is Okinawa. I've never been, but it's definitely on my list of places to go. Look at this cool booklet that they give you. Tells you more about Okinawa, about the culture, has all the information on each item, allergen information, that's good. It's really nice that they have this so that we know exactly what we're eating. Alright, let's see what's inside. Oh man, these are very nostalgic for me. Reminds me of my childhood. Man, they sure do fit a lot in this box. Now, we've got to try some, right? This one right here has my name written all over it. Ariel or Eariaru. Sour cream and onion chips. I love sour cream and onion anything, so let's open this bad boy up. Yes. Oh, dang, that is delicious. Man, wish came this in a party size bag. Can't stop eating these. Oh, that is really good. Now let's try something sweet. I'm going to try this. Kit Kat cookies and cream. I'm a big fan of Kit Kats as well, so. Yes. That's really good too. Huh. Wonder why they don't have these over here. Alright, we gotta move on before I end up eating this whole box by myself. But I'm just gonna have one more of these. Ah, so good. Okay, onto the Sakuraco box. Nice. It comes with a hagaki or postcard. Nice touch. Let's see, the theme for this month is Festivals of Tohoku. Ha, that's awesome. I just wrote about the summer festivals in Japan recently in my newsletter. Tohoku is the northern area of Japan, right under Hokkaido. It's an area I've been wanting to visit for a while, just haven't had the chance. They make some really good Japanese sake around there, and you guys all know that I'm a huge fan of sake. Tells you about the big festivals, showcases the local artisans, description of each snack, travel tips. Very cool. Alright, let's see what we have in here. Ooh, we have a cute tenugui, which is a traditional Japanese towel. I think that's the special tableware. Man, all of this came in this small box. And I would have to say that Sakuraco has a more upscale, classy feel to it, while TokyoTreat is a lot more pop culture, trendy, younger feel. Which is really cool because you can enjoy the taste of Japan in two totally different ways. Very well thought out boxes. Now let's try some of these. First, I'm going to try this tea out, which is the Iemon Matcha Genmai Cha. That soothes the soul right there. Now I'm going to try this one right here. I think it's like a ginger cookie. Let's try. Yes. Wow. That's really good. There's a very satisfying crisp to it. I like that. Okay, now I'm going to try this one. Kurumi mochi. Yes. That's really good too. That's legit. Too bad there's only one. Good thing my wife and son aren't here. Just kidding. I share everything with them. Speaking of sharing, both of these boxes have so much in them, it's great to share with the whole family. Or keep it all to yourself, doesn't matter. But regardless of who it's for, it makes for the perfect gift for those that love Japanese snacks. And come on, who doesn't like Japanese snacks, right? And if you order before July 15th, you'll get these exact same boxes delivered right to your doorstep. And you know what's even cooler than that? Some money. Yep. By going to the link in the description below and using my special code, the Sushi Man, you'll get $5 off your first order for both TokyoTreat and Sakuraco. So start experiencing Japan from the comfort of your own home by ordering your boxes today. Thank you so much to TokyoTreat and Sakuraco for sponsoring this video and making my taste buds happy. Alright, now back to the video. So for the tuna, all we're going to do is slice this saku block into about 1/2 inch thick sticks. That's about 3 to 4 inches long. Now let's cut our hamachi. And same thing, you just want to cut it roughly the same size as the tuna. And depending on the fillet you have, you might just cut it straight down or at an angle. The direction doesn't matter as much compared to when cutting sashimi or for nigiri, but you always want to cut against the grain if you can. Okay, next the salmon. And it's pretty much the same thing as the other two. This fillet I have here is pretty thin, so I'm just going to cut it straight down. Alright, next let's cut our unagi. And we're going to cut this pretty much the same way as when we cut it for nigiri. Just a tad bit more narrow. And you can watch this video if you want a more detailed walkthrough on this. Now, this is the only ingredient that we have to cook, or more so just heat up. And all we do is broil it for about 5 to 6 minutes. But it's best to do this right before you eat so it doesn't get too cold. So I'm going to leave this here for now and we'll pop it in the broiler right before we plate. Okay, next the kanikama. And all we're going to do with this is split it in half. And you can just use your hands like this. So that way it's a little easier to put inside the rolls. Alright, and lastly the masago. And this is where the Japanese mayo comes in. Now this is totally optional, but I personally like to make what I call masamayo, which is masago and Japanese mayo mixed together. The rich creaminess of the mayo and the slightly salty and popping texture of the masago is a very cool combo and is a nice addition to the hand rolls. And I just eyeball this. And now we just mix it all up. And done. And that's pretty much it. Now we just plate this all nice and pretty. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A temaki setup all ready to be devoured. Now let me show you how to make the actual hand roll. So first, we're going to use an entire half sheet of nori. Now I'm right-handed, so this will be just the opposite if you're left-handed. So you hold the nori like this in your left hand with the rough side facing up. And then we're going to add some rice to it, but only on this left half. And you don't have to get all precisely to the edges or anything. Just like that. And then add in whatever fillings you want, but try to keep it in the middle of the rice at an angle this way. So I feel like, let's say some cucumber. Let's do some tuna. A salmon as well. And then how about some ikura? Now from here, we wrap this by bringing this bottom left corner up to this top middle. So grab the corner, and then while gently folding your hand, bring that corner up to the top middle. And then keep rolling the seaweed around itself, just like that. Now this last part, if you want to hold the seaweed in place, you can grab a couple grains of rice and use it as glue to seal it. Like that. But honestly, the point is to eat it right away, so there's really no need to. Just dip it in some soy sauce and dig in. Okay, so this is the bigger, more official way of making temaki, but usually at home we'll cut this nori in half. Let me show you real quick. So basically we use these small sheets to make smaller rolls. And the concept is the same, just make sure you put less rice though, watch. So from here, you just wrap the nori onto itself. Just like that. In this way, you can eat a lot more variety and enjoy all different types of combinations. But either method is totally fine. Alright, good job crew. Hope you found this video helpful and now you know how to host a much simpler sushi party. And trust me, doing it this way is for sure a win-win. Everyone gets to customize their own rolls to their liking and you're not breaking your back constantly making sushi for everyone. So definitely try this out. But fair warning, everyone will start requesting it over and over again. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about making sushi, then be sure to check out my book. It's called How to Make Sushi at Home, a fundamental guide for beginners and beyond. It's an easy to follow guidebook packed with sushi knowledge that will take you from total sushi novice all the way to professional sushi chef level. So whether you're training to become a sushi chef or want to start making sushi for your friends and family at home, this book is meant for you. Links are in the description below for those that are interested. And now that you know how to throw an awesome sushi party, don't forget about the sake pairing to go with it, which you can learn all about by going to this video right over here. Alright, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you're enjoying my content. And as always, feel free to leave any questions or comments below. I'll see you on the next one. ありがとうございます。いただきます。美味しい。